Alright. What's up, everybody? This is Outdoor Stoner 101. We're coming at you with our first night episode. And this has been something that I wanted to do for a little while. And I say that as though if I've, been posting for a long time and I have like a developed fan base or shit like that. But here's the the concept's pretty basic, and I'm sure unless you're a fucking dumbass, you can figure this out yourself. Look outside. I called it a night episode. I wonder what time of day we're doing it. So yes, this is indeed a night episode. And as far as where I am currently, as you cannot see the background that I currently have, I am in the middle of the forest, or my backyard. It's beautiful. It's great. There's lots of cool crap out here. Lots of cactus, lots of pretty high grass. Found a couple of mushrooms. Unfortunately, no psychedelic mushrooms. Unfortunately, but we are still here, and I'm here to give you a pretty damn good video. Maybe make your day a little bit better. So we're just gonna talk about some shit. I don't really know what we're gonna talk about yet. Usually I at least have some sort of topic planned out. But let's just talk out my ass and see what happens, right? I figure it's the first night episode. I mean, what's the worst you could do? So let's shine some light down on this. That is the bowl from which I am smoking out of. You got 420. Ha! That's so funny. I'm laugh. And with that, if you're joining me, obviously you're probably, if you're watching this at night, good for you. If you're during the daytime, whatever, fuck it, doesn't really matter. Nothing does. So, smoke anyways. And with that, enjoy. Hell yeah. That's, I believe, the term for that would be the shit. Only the best. Only the best. And that's something that we'll start out talking about that. So it used to be that if you were buying weed for $10 a gram, you would end up with, medium grade weed if you're lucky, but usually it'd be like low to shitty end weed. But now you can go to almost anybody. I mean, almost. There's still some people living in the past, but you can go to almost anybody and just ask them, or just give them $10 for a gram, and you're gonna get good weed. And wonder why that is. I really think it's because marijuana just became more mainstream. A lot more people started doing it. It was, it used to be this big bad thing, and now everybody and their cousin smokes weed. So I assume supply and demand would have an issue there. Or actually, it wouldn't be supply and demand, because we've met the demand. But rather, they're just trying to keep customers interested, because now it's like, well, my buddy over here because it started because some dealers were like either stupid or were just really desperate for money, so they were selling their weed at like $10 a gram, and they were like, well, this guy gave me $10 a gram and I can just go talk to him. So then that started forcing all of the other dealers to say, oh shit, we have to do this too if we want to keep up with the market. You know what I'm saying? And, I mean, that's my theory, at the very least. And rather hypothesis, if you want to get into the, details. Oh, and by the way, I know tobacco kills, so if any of you fuckers in the comments, whenever you watch this video, are like, oh no, tobacco kills, and it's like, yeah, I fucking know. I'm not a dumbass. And to those of you who say, well, tobacco should be outlawed, and I say, no, it's personal choice. And really, I smoke them because I know that, like, it's really weird. I smoke them not because I have an addiction. And I know this because regardless of the fact that I've been smoking for 9 months, I went multiple times this summer for like a month without cigarettes. And then it would be like another month or so, and then a month without, right? And so I'm not addicted. But yet I smoke them every day because I guess to me, it doesn't matter. Nothing will. How I die isn't gonna matter. Like, if it's lung cancer, cool. I'm dying of lung cancer. I guess that's my fate. But if I just die in my sleep, that's cool too. If I get shot down, that's just, that's how all the variables decided to line up. And yeah, I just don't really care. So, why bother when you can have a good time? It's interesting to think about crap like that. Because nihilism and cynicism, when used in the correct way, very potent tools. Very, very potent tools to get your point across. Or rather, to live your life by. And to some of you, to people who don't know what nihilism and cynicism is, first of all, I would recommend looking it up, of course. Always check your own information. But basically, nihilism is the belief that nothing matters. And I'll explain why that can be helpful in just a second. And then cynicism is a belief that culture has no value. That things that would usually be considered normal, like a very famous example of a cynicist is Diogenes, the philosopher. He is considered to be the founding father or one of the founding fathers of cynicism and the principles of it. And he was a very, very dedicated cynicist. Let me put it to you this way. He didn't give two fucks about anything. Literally, he gives so little fucks about anything besides food and water that when Alexander the Great himself came to their town, he was jacking off in a bucket on the street next to a vending thing, and then Alexander the Great, mind you, bear in mind, this guy is like one of the most brilliant military strategist ever. Strategist. And Alexander the Great comes up to Diogenes and says, if I were not Alexander the Great, I would want to be Diogenes. And he said, if I were Diogenes, I would want to be Diogenes. That was his response to Alexander the Great. And he was just jerking off. Because he gave zero fucks about culture and the norms of the social norms or anything along those lines. Just didn't give a fuck. Now the reason why those things can be so helpful in life is don't necessarily take it to the fullest extent. Pure nihilism isn't healthy. Pure cynicism is very difficult to achieve. If you can achieve it and you are satisfied with that style of life, then more power to you, and I hold you a very high standard. But rather think of it as this is the perfect way. And not necessarily the perfect way. There is no perfect way, but this is a very good method that works very well regardless of your situation, because it strips the need for situation. And that way, by thinking in a cynical manner, you take some of the details out, some of the things that are harder to process, and by striving to not adhere, you create a less herd-driven population, a much more diverse group of people. And diversity is what makes us, human. But instead of having masses of the same people listening to the same music, dressing the same way, everybody should be unique. Mind you, I'm not saying that because a lot of people listen to the same type of music, it's all of a sudden, oh, that's mainstream. It's more about the content and the story, behind the music. But, and to wrap up this video, why nihilism might be considered a helpful aspect. And that is because if nothing matters, think about it. Nothing matters. The first thing you think of is, the first thing people think of whenever I tell them that I believe in a lot of nihilistic philosophy and utilize it in my life is they think love doesn't matter, happiness doesn't matter, and they think of all these good things that just don't matter. Right. But the thing is, though, is that as much as all those positive things might suck to lose, all of the negative things also go away. So it's like, that's at least the, foundation of it. So the way to apply it would be, let's take for instance, you're on the bus or something like that. You're on a bus and someone's talking really loudly or being annoying or, being hostile with everybody else or something like that. And then you think about it and you realize it doesn't matter. And because if you truly believe that it just doesn't matter, then it won't get to you. That's just how it works. And that's why I believe that it can be a very important thing. But this video has gone on a lot longer than I've wanted it to. I gotta start doing some live streaming or something like that. I mean, the thing is, though, about live streaming is that you have to have subscribers for that shit. Maybe I'll get on a podcast or something. I don't know. But I just want to start releasing some content for some other people to view, More content, at least. But with that, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, night, whatever you're doing. Stay high, just all the time. All the time. That's all I have to say. And may the odds be ever in your favor.